Next up, we got the many victims of Patrick Mahomes, aka Pat My Homies. Now, congratulations, third Super Bowl. He's solidifying himself as a GOAT. All right. Now, this is a new channel. Fantasy Farm. Go subscribe. Let me know if you want more videos like this. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Patrick Mahomes is without a doubt the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And usually in sports, when someone
Let me know y'all top three. Let me know y'all top three quarterbacks right now.
The best at a certain position, they're gonna have victims. Not criminal victims, but players that can't seem to beat them consistently or just keep getting their dreams crushed time and time again by that one certain player. Today, that player is Patrick Mahomes, and we're covering the main guys that can't seem to figure him out and win.
What is it about that kind of matchup that you really like? What is it about competing against him that you really like?
He don't like that.
I don't like competing against
I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. He don't like that shit. Nigga said, "What you like? What you like?" You think I like losing? No, that's funny though. I already called it
What
though.
is it about that matchup that you really like? What is it about competing against him that you really like?
I don't like competing against him at all.
Let's start off today with Action Jackson, Lamar Jackson in the Baltimore Ravens. Probably sitting here thinking, how in the world is this unanimous MVP from 2019 a victim of Patrick Mahomes? Well, let's start in week 3 of the 2019 season and see if we can't notice a pattern. So we started off hot for the Ravens in this game. The run game was absolutely cooking, not just the running backs, but also Lamar on the ground. And before we continue, these are two completely different teams in terms of style of football that they want to play, and it's always been that way since these two quarterbacks have gone at it. The Ravens want to run the ball down your throat, while the Chiefs might only run the ball 10 total times in the game. Regardless, Baltimore looked great to start off this game, and fans might have been getting a little bit too excited watching them take the lead early. But of course, this would not last. Mahomes had Kelsey to lean on during this game. Demarcus Robinson made a spectacular catch in the end zone. And Mecole Hardman was doing his part as well, stepping up huge. But on the opposite side of the ball, you had Lamar Jackson backpacking the team. Nobody was getting open in this game. He did everything he could in this one with his legs and even made an unbelievable crossbody throw to Willie Snead towards the end of this game, but that didn't matter because crossbody throw to Willie Snead towards the end of this game, but that didn't matter because Mahomes just simply outclassed him. You could try and blame it on the fact that Lamar had less weapons, but was that even really true in this game? Tyreek was hurt and didn't play in this one. So you had Mark Andrews, Hollywood Brown, and Willie Snead on the Ravens against Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, and Sammy Watkins on the Chiefs. I think you have to give this one to Mahomes, and it was simply an experience difference in my eyes. That one extra year that Mahomes had on Jackson made a huge difference. And don't forget, 2019 was the year that Lamar won MVP. Fast forward now to week number 2 of the 2021 season. Lamar would get the better of Mahomes here for the only time in his young career up to this point. And even though they won this game, there were still some glaring issues at hand. Jackson started off this game by throwing a pick 6, and then later in the game, he forced a throw into triple coverage for his second interception. The difference here is that Mahomes made the smarter throws, the smarter decisions overall. That is, up until he didn't.
But honestly, can we say that? So he said he make smarter throws and smarter plays overall. So really, honestly, that's how I view Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. Honestly, I feel like Patrick Mahomes, he can do all the crazy flashy stuff, but at the end of the day, he literally winning the game. He doing all this stuff and throwing it and winning the game, not just I'm getting a little quick highlight. Now I can't just sit up here and say Lamar do that, but I don't know. That's how I feel, bro, honestly.
Man rush. And there comes the fourth late. And the pass is picked up.
Dang, this is one of the times we're doing too much. This is one of the times we're doing too much like this. It literally hurts you. That's crazy. And there comes we don't even see this nowadays no more.
And the pass is picked off.
This was a costly mistake for Mahomes, and one that he's not known for doing often. Lamar was once again carrying the Ravens with his legs and doing everything he could to pull out this win. but the Chiefs still should have won this game at the end of the day. Clyde Edwards-Helaire made a huge mistake, fumbling the ball inside field goal range during the Chiefs' final drive that most likely would have won them the game. Lamar winning this game meant a lot for him, though, and he played his heart out, so you got to give him a lot of credit. You could tell he made some massive strides since their first meeting in 2019, but Mahomes would get the last laugh in this situation. This most recent AFC championship in the 2023-24 season is a perfect example. It was far from pretty, but those quarterbacks were in a battle. Lamar was catching his own passes over here. Mahomes was dotting up Kelsey in the end zone back shoulder, but ultimately,
bro got to pitch his own passes. Is like, honestly, you can't even say Lamar team selling him out. When it come down to the money, you know what I'm saying, is Lamar selling the team out, or is the team selling Lamar out? Let me know. All the Ravens fans, let me know. Because honestly, I don't know, bro. Bro catching his own passes.
It was far from pretty, but those quarterbacks were in a battle. Lamar was catching his own passes over here. Mahomes was dotting up Kelsey in the end zone back shoulder. But ultimately, Zay Flowers played a huge role in the Ravens losing this game with the fumble on the goal line and the taunting penalty. But at the same time, he kept them in the game in the first place by getting open and having a long touchdown early on. Towards the end of the game, Lamar once again showed his inexperience in the big situation, forcing another pass into triple coverage when they were driving downfield.
I said that.
They had a solid chance at making this comeback and winning the game. That has been the main difference so far between Mahomes and Jackson up to this point. Mahomes has been in those big moments, and a lot of them. He steps up to deliver almost every single time, while Jackson just has not. I will say one thing, though. When the Chiefs and Ravens play, it's almost always a good game, and there aren't many fights. You can't say the same about our next victim, Max Crosby and the Raiders. Crosby is the only player in this video that plays defense, which might not seem like a big deal at the moment, but he clearly doesn't have as much leverage over a team's overall success as an opposing quarterback might have. You can only do so much for the Raiders defense, and with all that being said, he is still Patrick Mahomes' main victim on this team. Let's pick it up with our first example, week number 10 of the 2021 season. I know I put Max Crosby on here, but this was an offensive masterclass by Mahomes that the entire Raiders defense just couldn't stop. To sum it up for you without playing the entire game, Tyreek Hill went crazy, and Travis Kelce was just being Travis Kelce. The outlier here was Darrell Williams, the running back at the time. And I wasn't kidding when I said the Chiefs don't like to run the ball earlier. This was a game that they were winning almost the entire time, and the starting running back still only had 11 carries. But he did catch 9 passes for 101 yards, and this play right here sums up the Raiders' night on defense perfectly. The really depressing part about the Raiders' efforts to stop Mahomes during this game was that they didn't even get 1 sack or an interception. There was just nothing they could do, and Patrick ended up throwing for 5 touchdowns.
And I ain't gonna lie, they even peaked the record. They had the same record. Actually, the Chiefs had an even worse record than them. 5-4 and 5-3. So this is not even like the Raiders nowadays. Like, you know, they probably got like what, 0-16. But they was pretty decent this year.
Now, that's pretty bad, right? But on the famous night in 2022, Max Crosby woke up the beast in Mahomes, which was pretty funny looking back on things. I mean, the Raiders pulled out to a 17-0 lead early in the second quarter, and you could tell the Chiefs weren't fully focused at that point in time, that the Raiders had a real chance of winning that game. But Mahomes turned on a switch, and that fight broke out after they came back to eventually take the lead.
I think I remember that.
Late in the third quarter, I remember that. 23-20. That turned into a meme pretty quickly once the fight was released as a part of the quarterback Netflix documentary, where you can see Mahomes saying, I'm here, over and over while Andy Reid is trying to calm him down. By this point, it's too late, Andy. All right, you can't contain this man. He's going crazy. Mahomes finished that game off with 292 yards, 4 touchdowns, along with 0 interceptions, but Crosby did play his part in this game. I'll have to give him that. 2 sacks and 4 total tackles.
So we went from beefing with the we went beefing from the quarterbacks to he beefing with the D ends and D line. And I didn't even think about that because I ain't gonna lie, they do be going against him like every play. Those are the main people literally going after Pat Mahomes. So yes, you would beef with the O line, you know, or the D line. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. I ain't gonna lie. Man, that's crazy.
It wasn't enough to beat the Chiefs, though, and we have to classify Crosby as a victim here because you can't trash talk Patrick Mahomes and then lose the game. You can't trash talk anybody like that and then lose the game. Now, the same can't be said about our next victim.
That's damn near like trash talking. What's his name? Tom Brady, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's Tom Brady, bro. It's not like, bro, this ain't no game, bro. It ain't gonna be like you can just trash talk and everything gonna be okay. Y'all gonna win, bro. Raiders, come on now. Y'all know y'all was lucky to even have a positive record that year, bro.
That and then lose the game. Now, the same can't be said about our next victim, Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Oh, hold on. Justin Herbert's calling my phone right now. He wants to tell me something. Oh, he said to make sure you guys subscribe to Fantasy Phenoms. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, Justin.
Subscribe.
Since early in the 2021 season, Herbert just cannot beat Mahomes for some reason. It's been known that if you watch the NFL on a regular basis, the Chargers just can't win close games. Since 2021, I would be shocked if the Chargers haven't lost the most amount of one-score games out of any team in the entire league, meaning they lost by a touchdown or less. That's a very painful trend to be a part of if you're a Chargers fan. And our first example in Week 15 of the 2021 season perfectly captures that feeling. This game started out just as heartbreaking as it ended for Chargers fans. They were at the 5-yard line on 3rd and goal. First, it was Mike Williams who couldn't come up with the catch and get them into the end zone. And then Donald Parham had the ball in his hands on 4th down, only
bro, why
in the end zone. And then Donald
Oh, I couldn't even see like collected
First,
out
it was
too fast.
Mike Williams who couldn't come up with the catch and get.
Oh wait, okay. So Mike Williams can come up with the catch.
Yard line on 3rd and goal.
So
First, it was Mike Williams who couldn't
tough.
come up with the catch
That's
and
tough.
get them into the end
Then
zone. And then
caught
Donald Parham had the ball in his hands on.
First of all, hold on. Now I'm looking at this
catch and get them into the end.
It's like nigga, you made the full catch animation. How did you drop the ball? Usually the catch drop starts from here. Like you drop. And then you just like fall down and do all, you know how they do the sad animation. Oh my God. Oh. You know, they do all that little shit. But he literally caught the ball, tucked it, fell on the ground, and then what?
Zone. And then Donald Parham, Mike Williams, who couldn't come up with the catch
on,
and get them into the end zone. And then Donald Parham had the ball in his hands on 4th down, only to smash his head off the ground, give himself a concussion, and drop the pass, turning the ball over on downs for them.
What the fuck? That's what happened?
Give himself a concussion.
Oh my God. I thought he was trolling because he just like, oh, I dropped the ball. So he Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's okay.
Hands on 4th down, only to smash his head off the ground.
And that wasn't even a crazy smash either.
And drop the pass,
Dang,
turning the ball
literally
over on downs for them. This play right here, though, with about 30 seconds left, if this throw to Keenan Allen is not out of bounds, I think they win this game. If Justin Herbert gives Keenan Allen this play right here, though, with about 30 seconds left, if this throw to Keenan Allen is not out of bounds, I think they win this game. If Justin Herbert gives Keenan Allen a shot to catch this ball, I believe he does, and they win this game. That is the story of every Justin Herbert game against the Chiefs. The chances are there, but the capitalization is not. And don't get me started on that defense. I mean, Week 11 in the 2022 season, Chargers are up 27-23 with less than 2 minutes left in the game. Herbert is having a great game. 2 passing touchdowns, 280 yards, and they have the lead for a good portion of these games. The ball just always ends up in Mahomes' hands towards the end with way too much time left, and the defense can't do anything about it. Then by the time Herbert has the ball back in his hands, there's less than 30 seconds, and he is asked to do something that very few quarterbacks can pull off consistently. It just so happens the guy he's going against does that extremely well and extremely often, to the point where it's almost expected. You're in a situation where you either get Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes in the clutch. Nobody's picking Justin Herbert right now. I don't care if you're the biggest Chargers fan in the world. There is just no way that you're picking Justin Herbert.
That is facts, though. That's
facts. Therefore, Justin Herbert is victim number 3. And I could move on to Mahomes' biggest victim right now. But first, I want to give an honorable mention to the entire Denver Broncos team.
So he literally the victims of a team, though. That's actually insane. I ain't gonna lie. victims of a team. He has to put the Bills in here, right? The Bills has to be. Did he already put that in, or am I tripping? No, he did Ravens. Yeah, Raiders. Yeah, Ravens. Yeah, he didn't put the Bills.
Mahomes has a record
so
of
he had to put the
12
Bills
and
in.
1
no
against them throughout his career. That one loss just happened the last time they met too, so the tide could be turning here. But I highly
lost to
doubt.
the Broncos?
By far, in my eyes, the biggest victim of Patrick Mahomes is none other than Josh Allen.
I knew it.
And it's in the worst way possible every single time, knocking them out of the playoffs. Josh Allen, as you probably know, if you watch football regularly, is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. There's no denying that. The reason you don't hear people making the argument that Josh Allen is better than Mahomes is that he can't beat him in the playoffs, plain and simple. Let's start with the AFC Championship game in the 2020-21 season. The Bills started off this game hot, but then they fell completely flat after their 9-0 start in the first quarter. They were getting into field goal range and just kept having to settle for 3 points instead of 6, which was a huge problem at the end of the day for them. On the other side of the ball, Mahomes and the Chiefs were doing the exact opposite, cashing in on their opportunities, at least coming away with some points almost every single time down the field. 325 passing yards and 3 touchdowns for Mahomes compared to Allen's 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. To keep it a buck with you guys, this game was never really too close, and it didn't feel close the majority of the game. This was certainly not the case, though, the next time that these two teams met in the playoffs.
Rex, you're 59 years old. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, and I've been a fan of this game forever and coached it for 30 years. Never, ever in my life have I seen a better game.
January 23rd, 2022, AFC divisional round game. Basically set the tone up until this point in time in 2024. Josh Allen played an incredible game.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
Played an incredible game.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, all that really matters is who came out on top. The Chiefs got the ball in overtime first, and Bills fans were outraged about how this game ended up playing out. This game sparked the rule change where both teams now get to touch the ball in overtime in the playoffs.
Okay, so yeah, so we need to really explain and know about this since they really changed the rules. It's crazy how they still be changing the rules, bro, because I'm a new NFL fan. So the fact that I'm just like learning the rules, and then now it's like they're changing the rules as I'm knowing, like, bro, what the hell? But so Bills versus Chiefs overtime was okay. So they both had to touch the ball. So we seen the Super Bowl. So you have to score, but people were saying that you should get the ball second, and I don't understand why. Let me know in the comments. Why should you get the ball second? Like, I'm still kind of confused because, like, if you go out and score the first drive, you know what I'm saying, you're good either way it go. That's why I'm kind of confused. Like, I guess you want to like try to stop them so they won't get. I don't know, bro. Because at the end of the day, like, you don't need. At the end of the day, you still gotta score. At the end of the day, you still have to score. You don't have to. You have to score. You don't have to play defense. So whenever you do it, you know what I mean. Like, it's like, you know, I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
Mahomes finished that game with 378 yards, and overtime ended up playing out. This game sparked the rule change where both teams now get to touch the ball in overtime in the playoffs. Mahomes finished that game with 378 yards, 4 total touchdowns, and 0 turnovers.
Damn.
We're talking about a guy here that knows how to take care of the football in the clutch extremely well. Now, this most recent divisional round matchup in 2024 between the two was yet another chance for Allen and the Bills to take down Mahomes. Lucky number 3, at least you would hope. And I got to give the Bills some major credit here. They were sticking around with the lead, even though this was probably the best Chiefs team defensively that we have seen over the past couple of seasons. I mean, the Chiefs would always outscore you with their offense in the past, but this season was a bit different. I know Mahomes has really turned it up in the postseason so far. Just a couple of weeks ago, though, the defense was carrying this team hard. So for Allen to be leading the Bills out there was definitely promising to see. The main reason Mahomes was so good in this game, though, was his usage of scrambling. Specifically, this one play where he fakes out a defender and runs up the sideline for about 30 or so yards. Those types of plays are extremely hard to teach, and not anybody can do it. Josh Allen, however, was not done, though. He was not ready to let Mahomes take another win out from under his belt. Beautiful play to Shakir gave them a 24-20 lead, and it was looking like this would finally be the year where Allen outduels Mahomes. That is just until a few minutes later when Isaiah Pacheco scored. Now the Bills are in a make-or-break situation here. 5.5 minutes on the clock when Josh Allen makes a huge mistake that almost cost the Bills this game. Thankfully, they got another chance and made it into field goal range. Let me just remind you up to this point, Mahomes once again doesn't have a turnover on the biggest stages of them all. Allen hasn't turned the ball over either in this one. Finally playing the game that every Bills fan needed him to up to this point. It's 27-24, and Tyler Bass is about to tie the game with a field goal.
44 yards, Bass. No, he doesn't make it.
Even when Josh Allen does everything right, Mahomes still comes out.
And that's why this is a team game. This is a team game, not a one-on-one.
Out with the win. Now, people are going to have many different things to say. The penalties, the no calls, whatever the case might be. Mahomes just cannot be beat consistently on the biggest stages. So it begs the huge question. Will the 49ers become Mahomes' next victim? Or do they finally beat him when it matters most?
49ers.